Welcome to one question at a time, the TSI series. Question number 51. Evaluate the expressions x minus 2y all square, where x is 3 and y is 2. So this is the plug-in problem. So we can rewrite this one as x minus 2y all square. So they say when x is equal 3, okay, so when you see x, you replace x with 3. So let's replace it. So we have x equal 3. So when you see x, you plug in 3, okay? Let's try this one again, minus 2. And then you see y right here. In between is the multiplications, okay? When you see some numbers right next to a letters, let's say a, so in between that is the same thing as that numbers multiplied by a. And you can represent the dot and the multiplications, or it's the same at which you calculate the cross like that, or the asterisk. Okay, we're not using this anymore, the x, the cross anymore, because it's confusing, or it's easy to confuse with the x, the letter x. Okay, so for letter x, we write out like this or like this. So that's why we don't use that for the multiplication anymore. But you can use the asterisk or the dots like this. Okay, so this means you multiply by 2. Because y that equal 2. So replace y at 2, replace x at 3. Then square. Now we have to working on inside the parenthesis first, because all the number. Okay, so we have 3 minus 2 times 2 is 4. We do the multiplication first and then addition and subtractions. Okay, so now subtractions, 3 is smaller than 4, so when you subtract the smaller numbers to the bigger numbers, you will have it negative. Okay, still keep the parenthesis. Okay, so 3 minus 4, the difference is 1. Okay, so still square. Now this one is negative 1 times negative 1. So we have x times x is x squared. So we have negative 1 squared. So it means you have negative 1 times negative 1. Okay, in between the parentheses, that is the multiplication, but we don't write that down. So it's the same thing as this. Okay, like right here, that's the multiplication. Okay, so we have another thing is we call is same sign. We talk about that several times, but let me just review it one more time. So positive multiply positive is the same sign, or negative multiply negative, that produce positive. Okay, opposite side, different side, that is positive times negative make negative. Negative times positive make it negative as well. So same side produce positive, different side produce negative. So this one we have the same negative times negative, that is positive. Okay, 1 times 1 is 1. So we multiply side to side and number to number. Okay, 1 times 1 is 1. And if we see something positive numbers, we should write it is that numbers without the sign, and we understand in front of it is the positive. Okay, so if a greater than 0, we're not writing plus a, okay? Because plus a is the positive a, greater than 0. If we have negative a, that is less than 0. A, you can plug in any number in there. For example, if I have 2, 2 is greater than 0, right? And we say when you see 2, it means plus 2. The sign is positive, okay? But if you say negative 2, you know that it's less than 0 because it's negative. When you're talking about a negative, you have to show it. But when you're talking about positive, you don't have to say that it's like positive 2, you just say it's 2. Unless you have to emphasize that it's like the sign to apply this rule right here. So evaluate is plug in problem. Okay, when they issue the value of x, then you plug in here. Then they give you the value of y, then you plug in here and then calculate. Then simplify it. Thank you for participating in this series and see you next time.